documentary won a national television award, and Jesy's joining us today from her home to talk about how you can help protect your children from online bullies. It's lovely to see you, Jesy. How are you, darling?
Yeah, I'm good. How are you?
Oh, we're all very well. Just looking back at that documentary, you know, it was so powerful, and congratulations on your national television award, very well deserved. How did that change your life at that point when that documentary came out? Because I know you were quite nervous about doing it, weren't you?
Yeah, I honestly feel as though I was just carrying this like huge weight around on my shoulders, and for such a long time it was like such a big secret, and obviously only the girls knew and like people that I worked with. And then I thought, as soon as I'd done it, it literally felt like a massive weight had been lifted off my shoulders. And I think there's such a stigma that comes with like mental health that like a lot of people are ashamed to like talk about how they really feel, and a lot of people are kind of scared to let people know if they're struggling, and that's how I felt for such a long time. And what I actually learned that by doing this documentary and letting everyone know was that it's actually okay to talk about how you feel, and it makes you feel so much better.
Did you get into that thing, Jesy? This is what I was trying to say to my girls. If something horrible is written about you, and they would say, oh, it's all right for you, Mum, you're 55. I said, you know, these are people that you don't know, put it to one side. But we can all get into that thing, can't we, where we just keep looking? Oh, yeah. Were you something nasty said, and some really nasty things were said about you, all of them untrue. But were you in that mode of just keeping on looking for more?
Absolutely, and I feel as though because I entered it was like 2011, so we just got Twitter. I don't think Instagram was even around then, and I don't think I even had Facebook back then. So it was all just really new to all of us, and I just wasn't used to people just being able to have like an opinion on me and just say whatever they wanted. And eventually, it literally consumed me, and I became a completely different person. And I genuinely believed every single thing that was written about me, and I just couldn't seem to like. I was just obsessed. Like from the minute I would wake up at like 6 o'clock in the morning for work, and instead of like going to brush my teeth, the first thing I would do was type the worst things about myself on Twitter. So the only way I can describe it is I was kind of like trying to train my brain into getting used to seeing these things about me so that it wouldn't hurt as much.
Oh, no. It is almost like a form of self-harm. Do you know what I mean? You're doing it to yourself. And when you decided to come out and speak out about it, were you nervous that the trolling would get worse? Or were you at the point in your life where you were like, I actually don't care anymore?
Stacey, I was petrified because obviously no one knew about this, and that's why I didn't speak about it for such a long time, because I just kept thinking, if I keep talking about this is never going to go away. But what I learned was that by not talking about it actually made it a lot worse for me. But then there was a point when I was like halfway through filming, and I messaged my friend Adam, director, and I said I don't want to do this anymore, because I was just terrified. I was so scared that it would be 10 times worse once this came out. But if anything, like I kind of feel like it's opened up a lot of people's eyes, and it isn't. I feel like a lot of people are a lot more aware now of what it can actually do to someone's mental health.
Jesy, I mean, obviously, you know, with all this going on, you still have to go on to a stage and perform in front of thousands of people. I mean, how did you just go about doing that? Because to look at you on stage, you were the one that was the most confident.
Oh, thank you. It was all a facade. I know that sounds ridiculous, but like, I feel like a lot of the time anyway, with like performers, we go on stage and it's a character that we play. And that's kind of what I tried to do. But a lot of the time I wouldn't even go on stage. There were so many times when I cancelled shows because I couldn't bear people looking at me, and I just constantly used to think that when people look at me, they were saying stuff about me. But yeah, I'm so happy that I pushed through it, because yeah, I just feel as though there's so many people going through such a similar experience to what I have, and I just feel as though I really hope that this documentary has helped a lot of people talk about their mental health a lot more, especially with the younger generation. I don't know about you, Stacey, but I feel like we grew up with, like, I didn't have a phone to like be able to like DM my friends on Instagram. I'd go knock on their house and be like, do you want to come out to play? And I feel like, I don't know, the day and age we live in now, like kids don't do that anymore, and I feel like kids don't have a safe place. Like when I was at school, if I got bullied at school, I'd go home and that was my safe place. Now kids go home and they don't have that. They still have their phone, and that's what's scary.
It definitely feels like there's no relief.
Yeah. Jesy, I'm really interested, because I've got teenage daughters. I'm really interested about the way that you kept it a secret, almost like you felt ashamed of what people were saying to you. And that's something we really have to keep our eyes open, don't we, as parents? What advice would you give?
I think you just, as parents, like really need to like just keep aware on like your kids' behaviour. Like, because for me personally, like, I really changed as a person. Like, I was a very confident person before X Factor, and then as soon as all that stuff happened, I became very withdrawn. I wasn't confident anymore. I didn't want to go out with my friends. I changed the way I dressed. Yeah, I just was a completely different person. So I think you just have to be quite aware as a parent of changes in your kids' behaviour, and also just kind of monitor how much they are on their phone, because I feel like, especially now, like people are obsessed with social media because there's nothing else to do. But you know, we're indoors. There's not a lot to do. So I think you just got to really kind of monitor that.
Yeah. Let's talk about positive things, because you've moved forward. So tell people how you deal with it. I know you had some therapy. You haven't done this alone, because you're saying, I was obsessed. I was getting up in the morning. First thing I was doing was looking at the phone. And like Nadia says, she says to the girls, just ignore it, which is what parents say. And they all go, oh, what? So tell us how you have moved on, the tricks that you use, that you still use to make yourself, you know, ignore the online trolling, which I know still goes on, and be more confident.
Well, for me, the biggest part of my journey was honestly like being open and talking about my struggles. That is the one thing that's helped me the most, because it isn't in there anymore, and it's not just something that's building up and giving me anxiety. I think you've also got to surround yourself with people that do bring you up and lift you up, and just not try and make your life social media. I think, yeah, that side of it can really consume you. yeah, I just think try not to make social media your life.
Yeah. Do you feel like you looking back on it, hindsight's a wonderful thing, Jesy, but looking back, do you wish you hadn't wasted so much of your time where you were having this amazing life and this huge success worldwide with Little Mix? Do you feel that kind of consumed you too much?
Massively, but I honestly don't believe that like anyone could have told me anything at that time that would have pulled me out of that. I kind of needed to go through it myself to be able to like get to where I am today. But another thing that helped was I mean, this isn't the answer for everyone, but I deleted Twitter. I had Twitter, and I absolutely hate Twitter. I think it's just a free fall for everyone to be able to say nasty things about each other. And so once I deleted that, I found that I mentally became a lot healthier and started to get my confidence back.
Jesy, do you think as well, we were so young when we went on to the X Factor. I think that has a massive impact on somebody's mental health. And you have come through it, and you are such an incredible young woman that... do you think it's just sort of like centred around because we're thrust into the limelight at such a young age, or do you think it's something that kids go through outside of that? Do you know what I mean? But it's never going to be as intense as that. Does that make sense?
We've only got about 20 seconds, Jesy, just to say, because I don't want to have to cut you off.
Oh, no, yeah, I'll just say that, I don't think it'd ever be as intense as what me and Stacey went through, but I do think that kids, we live in a generation now which is all surrounded by social media, and I just think that we just need to really monitor that as parents, as friends, and just, try not to let it consume you and make that your life.
Listen, thank you so much. You'd have helped a lot of people. Your documentary really did, and you'll help people every single time you talk about it. So we really thank you for your time and talking about it here. And when lockdown's over, come and see us, won't you?
She'd be a great newswoman.
She would be a great newswoman. That is it from us.